back talking about what can people do, how is this affecting producers, ranchers, just our ordinary folks here in the Panhandle. I want to let you know that we were wanting to visit with Hutchinson County Extension Agent Hannah. I visited with Hannah a little bit last night and early this morning. They are taking feed, hay, and lots of ranching supplies over at the Borger Municipal Airport, and she was not able to be over here this morning. We wanted to visit with her about livestock and things entailed in that, and she is busy helping people move animals, and we're going to catch up with her a little bit later. But in our broadcast today, we wanted to visit with our Texas Senator, Kevin Sparks, also our Congressman Ronny Jackson. And Mr. Sparks, I know that you were up in the air. You were seeing the Windy Deuce fire and the things around Borger, Hutchinson County, Fritch. Tell us from the air, what did you see? And what it's much bigger than we can imagine here in this area.
Yeah, that's right. It's just massive. The amount of space that's been burned is almost unfathomable. But as you got into Fritch, what was really disturbing was seeing all of the homes that had been destroyed. And you saw a little bit of that in Borger as well, and you realize that that represents people's lives. I think the emergency teams up here did an excellent job in making sure that they limited the loss of life. To my knowledge, I don't believe we've had any loss of life here in Fritch. And so, you know, that's first and foremost. But when you look at the destruction that's happened within neighborhoods, you know it's going to be a long time recovering.
These are people working hard, people. Congressman Jackson, we know, both you and Senator Sparks, these are folks that some have lost their living, some have lost their savings. And I can't imagine, we're happy about the weather, but what we have seen is just really catastrophic in so many ways.
Well, it's true, Allie, and that's what you got to remember is, you know, I was up in a helicopter yesterday, too, in the Canadian area and flew around for about an hour and a half, and it was just absolutely amazing. I saw probably 100 structures, barns, and houses that were just burned to the ground. I saw vehicles around those houses that were completely burnt. We flew around, and just the small path that we took going from out where we took off into town, we flew a path, and there were cattle everywhere that were just dead. You know, strings of cattle that were just dead in the pasture. There was unfortunately a lot of cattle that weren't dead, but they were badly burnt, flailing about. You know, they're going to need to be put down. But the thing that struck me is that a lot of these folks are not going to have the resources and the insurance to recover from what's happened to them. They've lost their home, they've lost their vehicles, they've lost their animals, right? And some of them aren't going to have insurance that they need to replace this kind of stuff. So people are going to really rely on the generosity of the folks all around Texas, which you can see here if you come to the fire department here. We have firefighters from all over the state of Texas right here in Fritch today. The same thing in Canadian yesterday. From everywhere, from the far reaches of the state are here. And people are reaching out to me in droves right now about how can they help. And there's going to need to be a lot of support. We are going to need to really focus our resources, our generosity, our donations on this area for a while to come. Even the cattle that were out there that were in small areas where there's unburnt grass were huddled together. For as far as you could see in every direction, there was just charred. So there's nothing for them to eat. You know, and it's not over yet. I mean, we got a good day today because we got some lower temperatures, we got some snow, but tomorrow it heats up again, the winds pick up again, and whatever's out there is going to take off again. So please keep these folks in your prayers and in your thoughts, and if you can help them with the resources, please do, because they absolutely need it.
Now, you both got to talk with Andy Holloway, Ag Extension Agent in Hemphill County. One thing, just like Ag Extension in Hutchinson County, Gray County, Roberts County, there is a declaration from the governor, state of Texas.
Yeah.
We know that hopefully that will help other things. We know that the wind's going to blow more. Maybe next month it could be in a situation with no vegetation and could be dirt storms like we saw in the 30s. I think that producers are very worried about that and are wondering, we want to help and we want to give. Do you think that declaration statewide, Senator Sparks, will continue to help things like that? And do you think there's anything FEMA that is going to help?
Well, for sure. I was glad to see the governor be very proactive in declaring this a natural disaster. We're just now beginning to assess really the first few days. And as Congressman Jackson stated, you know, the fires aren't even out. And so we've got a long road ahead of us. What I do know is that, you know, the cattle raisers associations, the cattle feeders associations, all of those organizations are strong, and they're very industry minded. They're going to rally together to help, and the state's going to come in right alongside of them to make sure that we get those industries up and going, because they're critical not only to the state of Texas, they're critical to this nation.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Allie. I think that there's going to be a lot of support out there. I think that the first thing that has to happen, I learned this during some of the tornadoes and stuff once I became a member of Congress, is that before anything can happen on the federal level, it has to happen on the state level. The governor has to declare an emergency, which he's done. You know, Senator Sparks and our state representatives have made sure that they've taken care of that part of it. Now it's up to us to get the federal funding here. There are a lot of FEMA grants that are out there, some specifically for wildfires. We are going to get all that money headed here. I will be back in D.C. You know, in the next few days. I'm supposed to be there today, but I'm here because of this. But I'll be back next week, and I'll be beating the bushes, and I'll be rallying all of my colleagues in the U.S. House to get those resources to the state of Texas and get them here as quickly as possible. We will squeeze every single dime out of FEMA that we can get out of them.
Senator, thank you very, very much. Appreciate you. It's good to see you.
Good to see
I know
you.
you're in Midland, and we love it whenever you come up this way. Congressman Ronny Jackson, thank you always. And again, I know you'd rather be in Fritch and the Texas Panhandle more than D.C. any day.
And Allie, I'll just say, if you want to go to jackson.house.gov, that's my official website, we are going to start posting all of the resources that are out there as far as places where you can donate, you know, physically donate hay or food, or you can donate money.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Again, we'll continue to talk to you about the small operator folks up here in the Panhandle and what this devastation of production and cattle loss, and we're going to continue to cover that here at News Channel 10. Back to you.